Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Bronson's Soapbox. Today I want to talk about blacklisted media outlets and blacklisting, how it affects industry coverage and different outlets. For those of you who don't know what being blacklisted means, it's when a game company, such as Nintendo, Ubisoft, EA, or whoever decides they don't want anything to do with a press outlet for whatever reason. This could be from breaking an embargo on a review copy or a press release, behavior at an event, or leaking company information about the game developer or game development doing poorly. An example of this is Kotaku has been blacklisted by both Ubisoft and Bethesda. In the case of Ubisoft, what happened was Kotaku got a hold of a leak through an anonymous source that worked at Ubisoft regarding Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Syndicate months before they were released, and basically said, here's what they are, French Revolution. And they also reported on the troubled development of Doom 4 and Prey 2, and reported on Fallout 4 before it was announced, citing an inside anonymous source at Bethesda told them all of this information, and all that information did end up being 100% true. So, why don't game companies like this, is the question. Well, why do they care if their information gets out there, so on and so forth? Well, they don't like their dirty laundry out there for obvious reasons. It makes them look bad. Harsh treatment of developers, or, the development of Prey 2 isn't going well, it's going to suck, no one's going to pre-order it, no one's going to buy it, and they really want to push those pre-orders. Then the next case, it's because they spend thousands, and in a lot of cases, millions of dollars on marketing. So, if their message isn't tightly controlled through that marketing, they get upset. So, especially when they promise an exclusive to a press outlet like, say, Game Informer, and then due to an inside source, they get scooped by Kotaku. I get their perspective, I get why they would blacklist an outlet for doing that, I just don't agree with it. Because if your game is bad, or development on a game is going poorly, or is in development hell, people are going to find out eventually. The difference being is they're either going to find out the day of release, or they're going to find it out in a couple days and return it and get their money back. There's literally nothing that's going to change as far as the money they pull in goes. The next reason is, as far as, okay, let's say you blacklist Kotaku. Well, that means a smaller site trying to get its name out there is going to go to that same source, report on it, and then Kotaku can report on it without repercussions. So, yeah. Like I said, if it's to avoid bad reviews, still doesn't make sense. The game will come out, the outlet will just buy a copy, and then berate the game a week later. That'd be like when we got a review copy of Aliens Colonial Marines a couple years back, and I gave it a 3. It was a terrible, awful video game. I said that if you're an Aliens fan like myself, that you should be insulted that they thought you would enjoy this title. The literal difference in that would have been if they didn't send us a review copy. I would have gotten the game a week and a half later through Gamefly. I would have played it, and then I probably would have just berated it even more. So no real difference there. From an outlet's perspective, it's annoying. I get it. It's, and if you get this kind of story, that you should publish it. If you have an inside source at Activision, or, an anonymous inside source, and I don't mean, break embargoes, that's stupid. But in the case of, a leak that's real or serious news, like the development of Prey 2 being a total train wreck, then yeah, you should absolutely report that news. It's your job. Dear Lord, this industry lacks, very little of what people do in games media is real journalism. Even that's not real journalism, but it still needs to be reported. And if that company chooses to revoke access, it shouldn't completely kill your outlet. If it's revoked, it shouldn't kill your company. Access should be a perk or a convenience, and getting rid of it shouldn't, destroy your company. At worst, it should be an annoyance. I've been at the Gamer Access for a long time now, and we get access to a fair bit of, review copies or embargoed information, or we'll go to a press event, so on and so forth. And yeah, we make sure we don't get blacklisted. We follow embargo guidelines and whatnot. But as far as but even if we didn't get that access, it wouldn't matter because our content isn't dependent on it. And if you're producing your content dependent on that access, how worth it? Is it really good content? Is your whole shtick we're the first ones out there with this information, and that's why it's worth watching? Because let me tell you, I will listen to certain podcasts and certain people's opinions on video games weeks and weeks after they came out, the game is out and old and everything, and so do plenty of people I know. Rather than just I want the information now or I want the review now, and if access is the only thing your outlet has to offer, then you might want to reconsider the way you do content, because chances are it's not worth reading or watching without that access, and that's a problem for your outlet in general. That said, I think blacklisting, yeah, it's appropriate in some cases. If someone breaks the review embargo just to get an edge on everyone, that person's being a jerk. But if it's someone at your company told members from different outlets X, Y, and Z about your game being in development hell, I don't think you should blacklist that company. That's their prerogative and that's their job to let people know. Anyway, games media is weird, folks. Next week I'll have a fun episode on polyamorous relationships in video games and how outside of Fallout 4 they kind of don't exist. So you all have a good week. Please follow us on Facebook.com, Twitter @TheGamerAccess, Twitch.tv/TheGamerAccess, where we stream every single week on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays with the Shiitakes, the Super Senpai Bros, and Playing God Live. And be sure that if you feel the need, on the bottom of the page, there's a donate button. It would help us quite a bit because it funds things like trips to PSX, trips to E3, camera equipment, capture cards. When developers and publishers don't want to send us review copies, we can go get our own or pay for the GameFly accounts to get them. So thank you very much. I'll be back next week.